Okay, so we had a pretty good Friday night at Red Torque Raceway. Great racing, lots of fast cars, lots of fans. It was a good time. We made a really good pass on our last run against the big tire truck. However, after looking at the data, we're still down on boost out the back. We're about 3 pounds of boost down at the back. We had made up for it with some more engine RPM down low, but out the back we're just down on power. So our thoughts are to spin the blower harder. I will say we were advised from our people at ProCharger to not do this, but we're morons, so we did it anyways. So we went and borrowed some different gear drive gears, and we're going to pull this thing apart first thing in the morning, swap out the gears so we can spin the blower harder, which in turn will make more boost. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to get this all done, fire the car up, put it on 2-step, see how much boost it makes on that. I'm going to suspect somewhere probably around 1.5 to 2, which will put us about where we need to be on the big end. So we're going to go ahead and get this done and then go see what kind of negotiating that Sean does for our first round. So we missed the first race there, which was Boosted versus Neil in his ProCharged. I believe a Zephyr, possibly a Fairmont, I'm not real sure. Either way, badass car. Unfortunately, Boosted took the L there and gave up $1,500 to Neil. Now we've got Jeff against Steve, and I believe another big tire GTO, and this is heads up for $1,000. We're up next. The Canadians chose for Sean to race Chris in his turbocharged Mustang. This race is going to be for $1,000, and Sean has to give the guy the hit. So, let's see what happens here.
I hit the fucking button, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now we got Ryan versus Sander in his 57 Pro Mod. Ryan gets the hit, and the Pro Mod has to clear him at the finish line. This race is for $1,000.
Hey, if your transmission wasn't fucked before that.
Oh yeah, no, that bitch is on fire, dude. On fucking fire. I thought you was a better dude than that. He goes, man, it just wouldn't spool up. I said, what did you bump in for then? Why would you bump in before it spooled up and then just left me hanging out?
I went back and 8.5 seconds is what you want me to do it for.
What?
8.5 seconds is what you said that for.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, we lost him. Right. Damn it. Kayla, you better about this thing? Is Caleb out here?
Are you driving or him?
We're gonna race the next round.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who burned Sean down? Nah, it doesn't matter anything. I don't care about it.
He said
It doesn't matter. Like, I didn't think I'd have to stiff anything or talk to him about that. He's like a straight up dude. And then, man, I was a little chip all the time.
Yeah, you can go chip for a second.
we're gonna race some heads up.
We're going to some decision with
You want to go somewhere different?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, you guys could also revisit this next round.
I think we're all drawing out of the bucket next round except for her and I.
I'll run it back.
you. Run back hands up.
He does.
I actually think today she should get the run scooter, and I think she should get the back tire of a hit. Oh wow! It's a 3,800-pound truck with power windows.
Yeah, lost some weight from last round.
Just 39.
Look, I'll tell you what I do. I made a mistake. Hold on. I made a mistake the other day. I told her I'd give her the back tire. I had no clue it was a big tire truck. I will still give her the back tire.
No hit.
Heck no.
Hey, look,
Big tire versus
just
the
let
back
you know,
tire.
it's off the table for us.
Yeah.
From here on
Yeah,
out.
he
the
knows
hit's
Y'all
off
that
the
for
table.
all
guys,
y'all.
it is ruined
The
the hit
hit's
for
off
y'all.
the table.
You guys control those water pedals.
So what do you want?
What?
Me off the
Come
throttle
on.
on the stage?
Come on, when both
Okay.
things,
Just
when
so
both
you know.
things are fucking lit, man, you go to the two-step.
When you're staged, that means you're supposed to be ready. You was not ready.
The hit's a hit. You guys take it how you want to take it. He can take it how he wants. He's driving his car. That's fine.
Even all your
So if we
people
did you
do
that way and melted your converter, your transmission, you'd be okay with it? You'd be mad, wouldn't you?
Hopefully my transmission's okay.
He's driving his car. He can drive it however he wants. You're driving your car. You drive it how you
That's
want.
what we said. We
That's
just
why
called
y'all
it
don't
chicken
get the
shit
hit
anymore. That's what we said. We just called it chicken shit. So it's off the table.
The hit's off the table.
So you're gonna give her the back tire, and you guys will draw then, or?
It'd be
I owe her the back tire, so you can, y'all go with that?
You guys are good with that.
Okay.
Hopefully we
so,
can cool that transmission off. The car will pick up, in my opinion, just
Yeah.
by not sitting on the two-step for 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Erin counted it out on her video. Nine,
it was
9
bad.
seconds.
It was bad. So with same guy, heads up. We're cooling the
How
car
am I?
down. You're good. You're good. No bats in the cave. Same car, heads up. And I don't know. I think if the car does anything like it's supposed to, he's screwed.
Yeah, it
So,
sucks that we slowed down so much, but you also got to think, man, that converter was hot.
It was
And
on fire.
I told Scott, I said, man, we slowed down 2 tenths, and he goes, every bit of it after that burned down.
Yeah.
That's how much it's going to slow down.
Yeah.
So, we'll just go see.
Yeah.
So starting off this round, we're going to start off with a boosted versus head rematch. This one's going to be $1,500, and it will be heads up. We were able to get the Nova cooled down and ready for a rematch with Chris. This time it's going to be heads up for $1,000.
tires here all weekend, and when he haze the tires, it slows down. So it is what it is. We picked up the win. You know, another $1,000 for Team USA.
Here we got Scott Taylor versus Bree. Apparently, earlier in the week, before Scott even knew what Bree was going to be running, he agreed to give her the back tire. Being the good dude that Scott is, when he found out exactly what she got, he still honored the bet, gave Bree the back tire, and this is going to be for $1,000. Next up, we got Ryan Martin versus Kevin. Kevin gets the hit and the back tire for $500. Finishing up this round, we got Lutz versus Matt. Lutz has to clear Matt at the finish line.
Someone just brought me a poutine. Oh, it looks like someone dropped this in the toilet.
Nope. Straight from the concession.
All right, I'm gonna try it. What's this white stuff on top? Cheese curds?
That's the cheese. Cheese curd, French fry, and gravy. So good.
Actually, not bad. Not bad. That's not bad. I'm definitely gonna have to use the restroom later now, but that's not bad. Come try it. What
It's good.
Just try it.
Fries and gravy. It's good. Pretty much. I've had three of them this week.
What is that?
That's a cheese curd.
Cheese curd.
It's your Frenchy fry.
I don't want that big of a curd. I would like the smaller curd, please. That's too big. Smaller curd. And less sauce over here on the drive-thru.
There you go.
It's not for me, guys. It's definitely not for me. It's like a white trash Frito chili pie.
Starting off round 3 is going to be Ryan versus Neil. It's going to be a heads-up drag race for $1,000. race is going to be against Ryan and his kind of it's a street car. So this is a weird race. We're going to set Ryan out one car. Sean's going to sit backwards. Ryan gets the hit, and we got to clear him for $1,000.
Bad though. All that stuff, I've been all right. But hey, we fucking knew better. Both of us did. Both of us fucking knew better than to come here with this transmission and this converter. I'm not talking. Hey, I don't give two shits about this. Hey, we're gonna turn blowers too hard because that's what we do. But the transmission, we fucking knew. You said it 3 times. You want to pull this out? I can run up there right now. Okay?
If you remember in the beginning of this video, we went ahead and put a bigger gear set in our blower drive to speed the blower up to try to get some more boost back because of the lack of air up here at this track. So that was directly against the advice from ProCharger. So as much as I would like to hang the blame fully on the guy who hung Sean out on the 6,000 RPM two-step for 9 seconds or so, we probably need to realize that we overspun a blower that already had a bunch of passes on it. So, you know, part of it, unfortunately, but it does suck. So ever since we put this transmission and converter combo in the car, there's been some suspicion on whether or not something was broken or not quite right or whatever the case may be. So we decided to go ahead and get the transmission out of the car. If nothing else, just so we can pull the converter apart and see exactly what stator is in it, because we have no idea. I had to pan off of the transmission before we came up here, and everything looked good in there, so we're suspecting we're going to find something wrong inside the converter here once we get it out.
Look at that.
I mean, yes, it 100% needs a tighter stator. We know that. But I don't want to just throw something in the heat guide over there just because it's tighter.
Put it back together. We know what we needed to know now.
Yeah.
We'll get a 1 or 2 stator tighter coming. But if we don't, if there's no way that we can get it to the next track, we'll get it shipped to the house. We'll run it with what we got, with our tune-ups that we know what we'll run.
What if I could get Quick Performance to get us a center section over there, like a 389? That'd tighten it up too.
It would. It would. It would tighten it up just a little bit. What do we got?
370.
I'm okay with 389.
You want to see if I can do that?
I think that might be the better move for now. And then just put this back in it.
was. I've been wanting to take it apart for a while anyways.
Oh yeah, it really tells you what gear, what actual state you got in it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah. Man,
What happened?
Did you see Kayla's run?
I did not.
Okay, Kayla's run, she lost it like right at the 330, just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Same thing, mine just fucking landed good and then left land and then just zung the tires. I thought the left lane was better.
Yeah, I did too.
It happens.
Yeah.
Especially when you only take off the trailer every time.
Yeah.
What are you doing with this one?
So this morning we had sped the blower up. This morning we also had a blower that was 100% intact. Well, now we have a blower that is no longer usable, and we're thinking it's partly because we sped it up as much as we did. So put it back to the way it was, that it had 60 passes on it, and I get ready for mission, I guess. We I don't know, we were trying to go fast and we didn't really need to, but that is who we are. We are morons, as we've told y'all at least 100 times. So now everybody's trying to show off. So, putting everything back together, we pulled the transmission out because we honestly didn't know exactly what stator was in the converter. I've been wanting to pull it apart anyways, so we got it out, took it all apart, and I just got it back together. Now we know what's in there, and we're going back together with it. And basically we're just getting this thing ready for mission, so we don't have to do it at mission.
Like the alternator took a dump on us. So it was kind of iffy before we left town. Like we took it to our guy. We had some stuff done to the truck, all the maintenance and everything done. We picked it up when we were leaving, and a service engine light came on. And it came on because, which could have been the batteries, because obviously it didn't come on just now.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't come on until the voltage drops below, what, 11.9?
Yeah.
11.9 or something. It came on once, and so we took it back, and a couple of the battery terminals were loose. Tightened them up, and then it was good on the way here. So we're wondering if it was partially on its way out before.
It's all the way out.
It's
or mostly
it's
out.
90% out now. So
it's kind of out when we left.
That's kind of out when we left. It was, trying to work, and then it gets to Canada, and it said nah. But these trucks are everywhere here, so I would assume that it wouldn't be hard to find one of these like that.
So we've got a rooftop AC on it, and it runs on 12 volts. And if you don't idle it up when it's just sitting there, I think it's pretty hard on it. And I think enough of that finally just
Giving enough of a draw to kick you now.
Yeah, I mean it's got 110,000 miles on it now. So
It's broken in.
yeah, so it was probably time. We tested it before we left, and it was some problems, but they found the battery terminals were loose. So tightened the battery terminals up, and it was fine. And it made it all the way up here, and then we started it after the weekend.
Too much.
Yep. So, I mean, as you heard there, new alternator on Little Pete here at OK Tire, Jagger Ridge, and we should be good to hit the road again. So we've got finished up here at Rad Torque, and I think we're gonna go see some bears or something. I don't know, bears and a glacier, and I don't know, do a little sightseeing. We only got 11 hours to go to the next track, so hopefully we'll fire it up here, make sure it's charging, hit the road. I think we're going 4 or 5 hours tonight, see all the things, and then make our way over the Rocky Mountains.
Thanks so much to OK Tire there in Jagger Ridge for getting Lil Pete fixed up with a new alternator there. And they also went ahead and changed the oil and fuel filters on the Excursion while we were there also. So you heard us talk about we were going to do some sightseeing once we left there on our way to Mission. Well, we got just past Jasper Lake. We stopped to do a little sightseeing there, and then we come around a bend, and there was just nothing but smoke. Vehicles lined up in the road. And honestly, one of the scariest things I've ever seen. I'm no stranger to fire. I was a farmhand as a kid during the summers, so I've seen some wheat field fires. I've seen combines on fire, balers, all that. My truck's been on fire. Like I'm no stranger to fire. We rolled up on this thing, and we were sitting there in the middle of the road, and you could literally see how quickly this thing was starting to come at us. The Highway Patrol eventually told us to basically just haul ass and do not stop as we were going by the fire, because it was right by the road, and as you can see here, it's literally right by the road. So we made it through that one. But then we got past that. We were on our way to see all the sights, and we ran into another forest fire, and this one they made us turn around and get out of there. We had to take a whole nother highway, so we had to backtrack a little bit and then drive through the night basically to make our destination, which did not include seeing the bears and whatnot. So I'm sure you guys have seen news about this forest fire. It's one of the worst in the history of the Jasper National Park. So absolutely devastating. I feel terrible for all those people that have been affected. Fire is scary. It's really not a joking matter. We joke about it a lot, but that was super intense, and hate to see it for those people. Okay, so before we left and went through all the wildfires that you guys just seen, you watched us. We had the transmission out. We had to change the Pro Charger because we broke it. Found out that the converter had the fins laid over inside it, broke off, had to order another one. And so we've made it here to Mission Raceway, and we're about to hopefully fix all of that. Mark Mickey got us a new converter sent out. Somebody smuggled it across the border for us, and
we were gonna just leave it alone and just deal with it. Like, yes, it was messed up, and yes, it was blowing through the converter, but I mean, how fast do we possibly have to go here? We're negotiating all of our races.
Yeah.
We could have went faster last weekend, but
yes,
once we hurt the converter, we slowed down like 2/10. Still though, we're still running, you know,
pretty good,
mid to highish fours.
Yeah.
You know, could have went faster even though the air was bad, but knowing that the air was going to be good and we have a chance to really step it up at this track, we didn't really want to run that old converter. You know, I'll bet you at this track, even with that other converter, we probably could have still went some mid fours in this air. Like, it's amazing here right now. So, man, that would have been a missed opportunity though to get more data. We didn't only just order a new converter, we ordered a new converter with a little bit tighter stator in it. So we should be able to do a little bit better down here. The first one is just going to be kind of a let's see what happens type deal.
I feel like we can still put our big one in.
I think so,
and be
still
fine.
Shift it, you know, 9 grand,
high.
9 grand.
Maybe not as high.
Yeah, 9 grand.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. 9 grand.
Yeah, we'll take a couple hundred RPM out of it.
Yeah.
And but anyways, first things first, we gotta get the car out, get set up here
on this gravel.
In the gravel, and then we gotta pull the transmission out, put converter in, put transmission back in, fire it up, make sure, because we still haven't started it after the Pro Charger explosion.
No, and we think it's good. We went through it. We looked at everything. We've been in what I feel like is a little bit worse conditions with the NPK car.
Yeah,
and
in Virginia when we won our first race, the first night, man.
We just rolled it over, blew the dust out of it, the Pro Charger dust out of it, and sent it.
I'll be honest with you, man, I don't even know if we did that. We pulled the plugs out of it. There was a little bit of aluminum on them, and
the damage was already done in that.
Brandon said, "You're good." So we changed the Pro Charger and went and won the race.
Well, the damage was already done on that. We made that pass and stayed in it to the finish line.
Yes.
I lifted, and then this Pro Charger blew up.
Yes.
So the throttle blades should have been closed.
It seems like it was all that was in it was a little or mostly dust, and there was a few shavings. You know,
a little bit, slivers, little
shivers,
slivers.
as Scott
Shivers
Taylor
is
would
what
say.
Scott says.
Yeah. So we're gonna get the car out, get set up, and we'll get this thing fixed up and fired up.
I think we're good to go now. Then we fixed the problem. So the other night, after everything happened, I told Phantom, he was like, "You want me to get the converter out?" Which we've kind of thought that there's been a problem with this converter, but we really only thought that the problem with the converter was it was just a little bit too loose. Well, once we were on the chip for 9 seconds, I hate referring to once we got burned down, because we aren't a turbo car.
Burn me down, Doug.
I feel like if you're not a turbo car, you can't get burned down by somebody else unless you give them the hit, which is what happened. So anyways, we pulled it out, we checked it. Yes, there were fins laid over in it, which is the reason that it went so high RPM on the big end. It ended up turning the blower too hard and blowing it up too. That's also our fault. We knew that there was a problem, but we went ahead and ran the car 2 more passes. Well, we're over here in Canada, and we're gonna make passes whenever we're able to, and we were able to make a pass. Did it tear up more stuff? Absolutely it did, but that's part of it. That goes back to the we're stupid part. So this is even dumber. We were gonna put the laid over converter back in it because we didn't really have no other option. Well, come to find out, we did have another option. Mark Mickey put together a converter and shipped it to the border. Luckily, we are this close to the border of the U.S. And the track manager was like, oh, we go over there, we go across the border and get stuff all the time. So we had it shipped across the border. Track manager went over there, got the converter for us, and came back. So thank you so much to him.
Kevin, thanks, Kevin.
Well, I wasn't going to use any names. I don't know who did it.
Kevin is a mythological name.
Yeah, let's just call him Kevin for good measure. Thank you, Kevin. So basically, we were going to throw that converter back in it, and then just plan on not going that fast. As fast as we possibly could. It's still pretty fast. But then it was physically impossible. Phantom must have butted the transmission up there 3 or 4 different times trying to figure out what the problem was. He butted the transmission up to the block, and whenever he did that, the converter would not spin in there, almost like he didn't have it set all the way in. Anybody that's ever put a transmission together knows there's 3 clicks that goes back in until you can physically feel it turning the pump inside. Well, we could feel it turning the pump, but the converter had gotten so hot that it ballooned out. And when it ballooned out, it made it physically longer. And so then it would not spin in there. So there was nothing that we could do to put that converter back into it. The converter's just junk. We can't even rebuild it now because it's ballooned. Either the pump side or the back housing of that is gonna have to be completely replaced, plus everything inside it. I don't know that we're gonna be able to spare anything out of that converter. It will go back to Mark Mickey after this though. Inside it is very, very burnt and hot, and then some of the fins were laid over, plus the balloon. So this one, as soon as we put it in, butt it up, it spins freely like it should, so that just verifies how much that other converter was ballooned out. Pretty crazy.
So DJ Reed, you know who that is, right? The dude with the Screwball Nova that crashed at XRP.
Oh yeah.
He commented on my post. He said, "Man, them guys are getting like that." He says, anytime I give somebody the hit, I tell it after 6 seconds I'm gone. Whether
We said
you go or
five.
not.
We said 5 after that. We literally said. So then the next drivers meeting, we told them anybody that makes a car that gets the hit set for more than 5 seconds, shut the thing down because you just lost the race. We're all good for giving everybody, let's just be honest, anything that they want to make it a fair race. And I gave somebody else the hit again, and we were on it that night. After I literally said, I'm not doing this. Well, there was a street car that didn't have nobody left to race. I was the last person. It wasn't his fault. The light took up, they ended up putting the light on a random. We caught the long random. And then after that, he sat there for 2 or 3 seconds. It's not his fault. He sat there for 2 or 3 seconds after the long light, which the damage was already done to the converter. And then it ended up blowing the Pro Charger on the big end. So, it is what it is. It just sucks. I don't like giving people the hit anyways, but at the expense of making it a fair race,
Well,
sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Giving people the hit probably cost us $12,000 this weekend by the time we fix that blower and that
Well, I mean,
Charger.
the converter's like close to $6,000.
And that Pro Charger.
And then the Pro Charger, depending on what it's going to cost.
If it can be fixed, it's probably going to be $5,000.
At least, I would
If
say.
it can't be fixed, what are they, $12,000 for
Yeah.
the 121?
Yeah. Yeah, sucks. So, it is what it is. Plus, we're not even 100% sure that everything's okay with the motor. I'm pretty sure, but we haven't fired it up yet. So, they'll get this finished putting it in. And then, at this point, it's 20, 30 minutes. We'll go fire this thing up. Good?
Let me double check the. I don't remember whether we clicked the win it or not.
Is the Pro Charger full and everything?
Yeah. We ain't gonna let it run very long.
The gear drive's full?
Yeah.
have to let it run slow. We don't have to. But I'm going to finish the transmission.
Ready?
This motor's crisp,
It just
dude.
sounds different.
But
you know what I mean?
sounds good.
Yeah.
Transmission's working. I'm just glad to know that I'm not a dipshit and it wasn't me that couldn't.
Well, I don't know that
when it comes to
decides
that,
whether you're a dipshit
well,
or not.
when it comes to that, we know I'm a dipshit.
We know we're both fucking dummies. Obviously, these cars are easy to work on, or we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, no, I feel a lot better, especially now that I saw all the aluminum in the exhaust. All that shit had already went through the motor.
Is it gone?
Yeah, no, it's all
Gear drive oil in here.
I found it. Whatever's in it now is permanently embedded in either the pistons or the heads, and we won't worry about it until we change everything again.
And we might forget about it by then.
Oh yeah, it'll all smooth off for sure.